I'm going silver and blue, all right.
Broadcasting live from the EBSN online studios in Columbus, Ohio. It's Silver and Blue Nation, the voice of diehard Dallas Cowboy fans. Now, here are your hosts, Big Game James and Producer G.
What up, what up, what up, Silver and Blue Nation? We back.
What up, what up?
Big Game James.
Producer G.
What's up, everybody? I got the hat to the back like Tony Romo did his interviews back in the day. Y'all remember when he always used to have the hat in the back and they're like, hey, man, Tony Romo need to step up and be a leader and stuff. He need to grow up and wear his hat. Don't wear his hat to the back. Remember when they used to dog him about that?
He got criticized for that a lot.
He got criticized. He's not grown. He wears his hat to the back. He's still immature. That's what they always used to say about him. But guess what? I'm sporting the Tony Romo today. What's up, everybody? Right quick. Stephen Arthur, Christopher Glover, Keith Hopkins, Floyd Perrier. I got it.
We get his name wrong every week.
Every week we got it, but I'm sorry. I try to slow it down. Ron Smith, of course, Katina, and Ned's going to jump in there. What's up, everybody? Please jump in and let's talk a little bit of Cowboys football. It's not a lot of going on right now. Just the end of 3-day OTAs, and then the mini camp is next week, 3 days, and then a month off for training camp. So it's going to be a little dead period, but we're still going to talk about some Cowboy stuff and some little things still going on in the Cowboy atmosphere.
And if you're watching us live right now, you're joining us on our Facebook Live, whether it's Silver and Blue Nation Facebook page or Law Nation, Dallas Prospect, Phantom Sports, EBSN Online.
Right.
Wherever you're tuning in, make sure you jump over to the Silver and Blue Nation Facebook page so we can get all your comments there and shout everybody out and talk about what you guys want to talk about, because after all, this is the nation, the voice of the fans. So
Perrier, that's how he said it.
And if you miss anything from the show, if you have to leave and you need to come back, you can always rewatch it here, or you can listen to us as well on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. And I just realized I need to change the date.
On
our live stream.
Oh, I like how you caught it, though. So, we catch things on live. That's how we just kind of do it. We do it, catch things on the fly, and we got live. But, like I said, we're going to talk some Cowboys football. You're going to roll with these quick. G's going to roll out the topics like he always does. But, like I said, shout out to everybody. Pablo Descobar, I like that name. What up? I hope he ain't coming in and murdering folk. Remember Pablo back in the day, what he used to do. But what's up?
Yeah, actually, you want to jump right into the topic on the screen. I actually am having a rough start to the show today.
Okay.
We opened up with that, so you can just go ahead and jump right in with
Tyron
I'll jump
Smith
right in.
I'll jump right in with Tyron Smith,
ranked
39.
Number 39.
He is the number one ranked tackle in the league, left tackle in the league. He is the best tackle in the league. He's been that for a very long time. You saw how important he was. I think when he was in the lineup with we averaged like 25, 26 points a game. When he was out the lineup, we were averaging 8 points a game. Left tackles are important in this league, and he's one of the best. I think he's still right now the number one ranked offensive tackle out there. In the top 100, he's been on there every single year. He's just a monster, and I think the biggest thing that everybody says about him is that nobody really sees an offensive tackle like that. I've said it before that I never saw a guy. I thought when he was coming out of USC that he was too small. I didn't think he was big enough to play tackle because he was too lean and long. He looked just like a muscular, bigger tight end. You know what I'm saying? So when you see him molding into what he has done, and he's been a monster. I mean, he really set up our franchise. If people really see that when he came in, right when Garrett took over and we drafted Tyron Smith after the debacle of Doug Free at the left tackle with Jared, what's his name? Jared Allen. When he played with the Vikings and we played in the playoff game and we got destroyed.
Yes,
and he killed Doug Free. Jared Allen killed Doug Free. And that right after that we drafted Tyron Smith. We moved Doug Free to right tackle, and Tyron Smith has been the man since then. Facts.
All right, then we'll just stick on the top 100 because that was Monday night, and it's obviously comes out every Monday, so the new one will be out tomorrow, so it's kind of old news now, but we still have to hit on it on our show here.
Yeah, and DeMarcus Lawrence was in there too,
yes,
34.
DeMarcus Lawrence comes in the same night, ranked 5 spots ahead.
Yeah, and that was real big because this was his first appearance on the top 100. Big kudos to Tank. He deserved it. He earned his 1-year deal. He got the franchise tag, and he came in and proved it. Like I said, we talked about it before where he said it was a 10-sack guy. I didn't believe it. I was doubtful because he only had 9 sacks in 3 years, so I didn't really see it. You had 2 back-to-back back surgeries. You had the suspension for 4 games. I just didn't know if he was really the guy that they traded up to get in that second round in that year. I think it was 2014. So I didn't know if he was going to be that guy. But you know what? He came in. He said he was healthy. They held him out. And guess what he did? He exploded on the scene. He could have had more sacks than that. I think there was a few games where he missed a few, and there was a few games that looked toward the end where there was a lot of holding on him. So big shout-outs. 14.5 sacks was big. And I don't think it if you look at DeMarcus Lawrence, if you look at his build, I said the one thing, like the difference between him and Randy Gregory, because Randy Gregory is more like a long linear type athlete, and he can have that bend where it seems like DeMarcus Lawrence doesn't really have that, but what he does have is really good technique, and the thing they were saying was his hand placement, and when you really saw him using his hands the way he was against those offensive tackles and basically destroying them, that's how you really win. You can't just really beat people with bull force moves and just one move. Guys are too smart for that. You have to know what you're doing, and he showed it.
Let's go ahead and jump in here with some shout-outs real quick on the Facebook Live and the YouTube channel as well. People over here watching on our Silver and Blue Nation YouTube feed. If you're not on there, make sure you go give us subscribe to us on YouTube as well so you can follow us everywhere that we are. Ninja Nuts is in there first. He said, I got first, Ninja Nuts. Appreciate that. I love the name.
Love the name. Ninja Nuts.
Harold Cowboys Mart, that's our guy. He's
that's my dog. Where you been, Harold? Did you unfriend me on Facebook?
Oh.
I don't think you did. I just think you just didn't have Facebook, but you better not have done that.
That's an awkward on-air moment.
Hey, I don't pull no punches. That's my dog, so he gonna have to answer to that one.
Virginia's Finest, thanks for tuning in. Stevie Mack, everybody who's commenting with us so far on YouTube, we appreciate it. Before we jump into getting these topics a little bit heavier and getting more
Taco
comments
Charlton
involved,
too, baby.
Just want to give some more shout-outs. Make sure you give us a like and a share if you're watching us on Facebook. And make sure that you tune in on the Silver and Blue Nation Facebook page so we can see everybody's comments. We got Jawan James in there.
He said he didn't know we was gonna be on there because the Cavs got swept.
Well, this ain't Cavs Nation.
Yeah, this ain't no damn Cavs Nation. Jawan, this is Cowboys.
LeBron's
this is
Cowboys
Silver
fan,
and Blue
but
Nation.
Cowboys go on.
Yeah, the Cowboys will always go on. We the number one. We trump everything. So ain't never no damn Cavs Nation up in here.
Eric Dodson says, "What's up? What's up, Eric?
What up, Eric?
Thanks for tuning in every week.
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure you guys share us out to the other Cowboys groups. Pablo, what's going on?
Show us love.
We got Skylar Blunt watching. Appreciate you, Skylar, for tuning
like that
in with
name.
us today. I wonder why. All right, so we talked about the top 100. Now let's jump into something that's been going on recently, and that's the OTAs.
Right.
So who's been some of the biggest surprises coming out of OTAs so far?
Well, you just been showing them right there, Jihad Ward, Cedric Wilson. A great segue to it. It was perfect how you did that. But, you know, like I said, the receiving core, Noah Brown, Cedric Wilson, Lance Lenore, it's going to be a heavy battle. And, you know, you still got Terrence Williams sitting out and I listen to Dave Hellman and those guys, and they don't think Terrence Williams is going to get cut. They think he's still going to be on the team. So if, let's say, Terrence Williams is still on the team, now you're really going to have a battle for maybe a sixth spot, depending on how many receivers they keep. It's going to be a really big battle. But Cedric Wilson's been turning it up. You know, Sanjay Lyle's been having kudos about him. Deontay Thompson, he's been another guy that's been looking real good. Blake Jarwin has been a guy they've been talking about huge, saying he's been looking real good. He can just get open. He finds the seams. He finds those little spots, and he's got good speed, good size, and he's been getting a lot of touchdowns in the red zone when they go to those little 7-on-7s. So he's been looking good on the offensive side of the ball. You know, it looks like they're getting Dak is starting to get that chemistry with Allen Hurns, just the receiving core in general. Tavon Austin was playing a little bit with the first team, I believe, on the last day of OTAs, which was Wednesday. So he was getting a little bit of packages inside that 10-yard line, running back, slot, receiver. Looks like they're trying to utilize him in all different facets. They also had Ezekiel Elliott on the way outside for, pass play. So, looking to get Ezekiel Elliott the ball out the backfield because he is effective. He has 2 long touchdowns, a 70-yarder and an 80-yarder from a screen pass. So it looks like, a lot of the guys are really starting to gel. Offensive line, Zack Martin is still sitting out, so Chaz Green has been getting the majority of the snaps. But quickly on the defensive side of the ball, since we're talking about OTAs, guys have been standing out. Jihad Ward, the guy that we traded for with Ryan Switzer, Brian Broaddus has said high things about him, and they wanted him. Actually, they said Ron Marinelli coached him at the Senior Bowl, and they wanted him then, but they didn't. So it's good when you get an athlete that you wanted, and he gets to come back to you because Jihad Ward always said he wanted to be with the Cowboys. So maybe it was a situation where, you know what, I didn't play to my potential at the Oakland Raiders, but I really wanted to play at the Cowboys. Now I'm playing with my dream team. I'm going all out. And he's not a small guy. He's not that girth guy, but he's 6'5", 300. They had him at DN. Cowboys are going to use him at that 3-tech, and they've been giving a lot of Travis Frederick and those guys fits, and they've been saying they're really anxious to see how Zack Martin goes against them, in the pads, because it's been him and Dayton Jones in the middle because David Irving and Malik Collins have both been out. So a lot of guys have been getting time. Jordan Lewis has been on the second team, so I guess AB has been playing good. Anthony Brown, they want to have Byron Jones out there and Cheeto. They saying Cheeto's looking like to take the next leap, but the guy who's really been standing out in the back end has been Xavier Woods. High marks from him, huge marks from him. Everybody's been saying like he looks like the guy. So I think he's really going to look good this year. Kayvon Frazier hasn't really wrestled the strong safety position from Jeff Heath because Jeff Heath is competing. He's been the longest tenure with the team, so he knows really what's going on, and they like him. So, and also Jalen Smith, that's the guy who everybody's been talking about. He's been just been looking huge, and even Gary Brown, the running back coach, said he's been had to get him to calm down because he's meeting everybody in the hole, beating everybody. So a lot of people looking good right now.
What's up to Floyd Hope for tuning in? Appreciate you. Mama T's in there. Michael Hibbert, appreciate you. Keith Caldwell says, keep up the good work, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching every week. Cowboys Nikki in there. Thank you for tuning in. Kevin Johnson. Eric Doxson wants to know, is there any word on Coney Ely?
They had a little article on him, how the Cowboys wanted him, when he first came out of, Missouri. So I think what it is, everybody right now is competing. They said this is the swim trunk Olympics or the short Olympics because everybody looks good because nobody has pads on. So everybody looks fast. Everybody looks quick. Everybody looks great without pads. But, Coney Ely has proven it in the league. He was good with them Carolina Panthers. He came over with the Jets and had a really, he had a decent year. So I hope that, he can come in and do what he's doing. But, once again, a guy who we haven't been talking about is Charles Tapper. So it looks like he might be the guy, might be the odd man out because they're really loving that Dorrance Armstrong kid. And I really think Randy Gregory, speaking on him right quick, he was sending out some messages on Twitter basically saying, what's up with the training, dog? I'm ready to get it in. So I think he's really confident about getting his suspension lifted, and I think we can kind of count on that happening now. It'll just be up to him or what he's going to do from there.
Quick shout out to Ryan Dye and Chuck Steed on Facebook Live. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Give us a big thumbs up, a like, and a share on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, give us a big thumbs up. Harold Cowboys Mart says he's done on Facebook. You won't find him there no more.
You my dog, though.
He's strictly still seeing us on YouTube. So
that's what's up.
That's what's great about it. You heard it right there. I mean, if you don't want your Facebook account no more, you can still stay in touch with us. We're
that's
everywhere.
My dog, though. Just
YouTube,
so you know,
anywhere.
Harold, what's up?
Harold Cowboy Mart. He's been with us for a long time.
Yes, he has.
Appreciate you always tuning in with us.
Definitely appreciate it.
Produced by Germ. Comments on our YouTube video says excited for a 12-4 season. I hope you're right about that.
That'd be lovely. I'm going with 10-6. I'm gonna kind of stay with that, but 12-4 would be lovely. We got a tough schedule though.
Chuck Steed wants to know: is there any update on Rico?
I mean, the same thing about Rico. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're not really talking about him. They're saying that he just still needs to get on the field. He still needs to learn the finer things. The biggest thing has been standing out is his blocking, and that's what you got to do when you're playing the Cowboys offense. You have to be able to block, and if you can't block, you're not gonna get on the field. Now, maybe when we get inside that 20, he gets in that red zone and you use him in that red zone. But once again, you still have to have those good practice habits. I don't know if those are always happening. And like I said, they're really high on the Blake Jarwin kid. I saw him last year. He looked good. I saw him a little bit in some highlights of the OTAs this year. He's long. Even though he's a 6'6", he's a long 6'6". And they say he just gets open and good speed. And if they activated him because the Eagles were trying to poach him, and let's be real, the Eagles don't get no sorry-ass tight ends. Eagles get good tight ends, and they have an eye for good tight ends. Let's keep it real. They had L.J. Smith. Remember back in the day? I mean, they had Celtic. What's his
Brent
name?
Selleck.
Brent Selleck.
Now they have Zach Ertz.
Now they got
Trey
Zach
Burton.
Ertz. So they know tight ends. So for them to inquire about him and try to look to go after him, to me, that's saying that he was a good tight end. And if Dallas activated him, I think you're going to look at this guy, Blake Jarwin. I said for a long time now that Blake Jarwin was going to be our surprise starter. I said that a long time ago, and I'm going to stick with that. I said it a long time ago.
Another guy I've heard some pretty good things about, just reading different articles and things like that, was Michael Gallup. People saying he kind of looks like he's got that same type of fight that what Dez had.
And he's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got some
physical.
good. He's got some good size. They took all the pictures with the receivers, and he was on the outside. I'm like, dang, he's kind of big, and he was a rookie, and he was bigger than some of them other guys. You know what I mean? So we got some nice size receivers out there. We don't have the guy that was the smallest was Beasley, looked like a little shrimp, but everybody else, and Tavon Austin, but he ain't really considered full receiver.
Cowboys Nikki said the receiving core is thick.
Yeah, we got some big guys out there. We're looking like 6 foot and above, and even the guys that are lower than that are still thick guys. So I'm excited, even though it's the unknown of the fear of the unknown, what they're really going to do. You still have that excitement because you know what, to me, G, is that it's Dak's team, I feel now, and these are going to be Dak's guys. You know what I mean? These are going to be guys that are going to listen to him and do what he says and what he wants to do. And when you get that kind of flow and that kind of chemistry that we've been wanting, you're going to see it. When he doesn't feel like he has to force it any one person and everybody's just happy to get the ball and score touchdowns and win the game, that's when your team runs like a well-oiled machine. And then when those guys start producing, you still got that monster back there named Ezekiel Elliott back in the fold. Whew, we didn't even mention that guy. He's looking. Zeke is going to prove a lot of people. He's going to.
It's kind of been quiet surrounding him, which is a good
thing. I'm telling you, Zeke is going to blow up.
Eric Doxson says, well, first of all, let's give KG just a shout out. He said, "Big Game James."
What up,
really
KG?
Good.
Sorry for the phone calls. I'll holler at you.
Eric Doxson says Earl Thomas is holding out. Is there still some hope there?
I mean, there's always hope, but I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, if it happened, cool. If it don't, I'm okay. That's how I feel now. I feel like we're this far in the season. I mean, the season hasn't started, but we're getting this far in the meat and potatoes of it. It's about to really get down. It looks like the Cowboys are really just happy with their guys, and it's kind of like I want to have our guys right now. But if they pull the trade off, I'm not going to say, no, don't do it. But at this time, I'm feeling good about our guys, and I want to see what our guys can do. I feel like we're building a defense from the ground up. We built this defense. You feel me, G? We didn't get a lot of free agents. We didn't do that. They got it from the draft. If you look at this whole team, if you look at this whole team from top to bottom, damn near from offense to the defensive side, the ball has been through the draft.
Yeah, you're right. It's definitely been built through draft. I mean, all the free agent signings have been,
very small ones, meager. They're not big names. We haven't had a big name guy since who?
Gap fillers. I mean, guys you can cut like Nolan Carroll.
Next year. So we've been our team is through the draft right now.
Cowboys Legacy, thanks for chiming in, says, I'm excited about the wide receiver core. I think Gallup will win the starting job with Hearns.
I would like that.
Wouldn't mind that. Kevin Johnson says Gallup complete runs the full route tree.
Yes, he does.
So a lot of good stuff to look forward to there. Stevie Mac 23 said Noah Brown looks pretty fierce in some pictures. Looks like he's about
big.
to rip DBs apart.
He's big as hell. Noah Brown is big as hell.
Unbid Royals asking about the Deion Sanders saying that the Cowboys should re-sign Dez.
It's over. Let it go. We moved on. You don't a job doesn't fire you and then want to rehire you. They fired you for a reason, and they're not doing it no matter what. We don't need it. I mean, that ship has sailed, and like I said, I love Dez till I die, but that ship has sailed. Once they cut him, it's gone. It's over. Deion Sanders is just talking, and just because Deion Sanders opens his mouth doesn't mean like, oh, then it's right because Deion Sanders said it because he's in the Hall of Fame, so anything he says is just the right thing. No, it's not. It's not the right thing. We don't need Dez Bryant on the team any longer. Yes, he's a dog, but we're going to be okay. The team is not going to go 5-11, 4-10, 4-12 because Dez Bryant is no longer on the team.
Real quick, Ron Smith wants a quick Randy Gregory update.
Randy Gregory, everybody's waiting. They got 60 days from the time he petitioned for the reinstatement. I believe 60 days from that to give an answer. So that's enough time to see what's going on. He's saying he's getting ready for training, and I think he's going to get reinstated. As long as he's passed every drug test, like they said, I don't see why he doesn't get reinstated. So I think we all should get a little bit more excited of seeing Randy Gregory in the fold.
Unbid DJ says, and I'm talking to people on our YouTube channel right now for Silver and Blue Nation. So if you're not subscribed there already, make sure you get over there and do that.
Yeah.
And so you can chime in there as well in case you don't see us on Facebook. DJ says, we're going to be unpredictable on offense this year. That's what we hope for because that's the one thing we said so much last year was how predictable they were. So.
And what was the biggest thing that we were always doing last year? Forcing the ball to Dez, forcing the ball to Witten.
Yeah.
Those were the first two looks. Everybody knew where we were going. They knew we were going to try to get the ball to Dez. That's why they bracket him. Now you have guys who are unknown. Now you have guys who you don't know. So how do you really game plan for them because you really never seen them? So that makes it easier on our part because now the offense can get more tricky. And like I said, that addition of Tavon Austin because you got rid of Ryan Switzer, who you want to be that gadget guy, but at least you did replace him with a guy who has been proven to do some things when he's had a little bit of opportunity. He hasn't been consistent, but he has been explosive at times. So you can get that on a punt return from a Tavon Austin because he's shown he can do it. And those change games. And what we say before, G, that's one of the things that we liked on special teams was a good kick returner, punt returner.
Yes,
and Tavon Austin has proven that he can break things. So I like where we're headed as far as the offensive side, the defensive side of the ball. To me right now, and I will go and beat the damn horse in the head, it's up to Jason Garrett and that staff to get these guys where we need to go because we can compete with any damn team in the NFC in the AFC. We can beat any team. We can do, and I can't wait to see Dak Prescott against Deshaun Watson. I can't wait to see Dak Prescott against Marcus Mariota, Cam Newton, Mariota. He's going to step up to that challenge. You don't think he's not geeked to prove a lot of people wrong and shut a lot of people up, and he's going to go against those guys? This is Dak Prescott's team, and we need to put full 100% behind him because he can take us where we need to go, but he needs to get the full support from Cowboy Land.
If you're just joining us, this is the Silver and Blue Nation live podcast. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube on several different Facebook pages. We're on EBSN Online, Phantom Sports, Dallas Prospect, Law Nation, Big Game James. If you guys want to get your comments read and heard and shouted out, come on over to the Silver and Blue Nation Facebook stream right there. That's where we're watching it. So make sure you jump in, or you can go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe as well. We got a lot of people that are commenting, so if we missed yours and we didn't get to it, keep it coming in, and we'll try to keep looking at them as we go. They come in so fast. I mean, they just move right up the timeline.
Right.
Cowboys Nikki talking more about Dez, says it's time to move on. Fresh bloods in the locker room. Dion just be talking.
Yeah.
Dustin Merriman.
What's up, Dustin?
Let me go back here to Floyd. He had a question real quick. He says, what's your prediction on Martin's salary length and guarantees?
Oh, that's going to be tough because I know how Dallas likes to do those team friendly. They did it with Tyron Smith. They did it with Travis Frederick. I don't know if he's getting that $13 million a year. I think he might get a really big bonus. Is it a 10-year deal? I say it's like a 8-year deal maybe because he's like 26. I say it'll be like an 8-year deal, maybe $100 million. I don't know.
And that's something about what Tyron Smith got?
Yeah, he got a 10-year, 110, so I don't know. I don't know them numbers. I'm going to just keep it real. I ain't going to front to you like I know those numbers. I just know he's going to be one of the highest paid, and they're going to do it to where they probably can restructure it because they already did it with Travis Frederick. Tyron Smith, I don't think they've done it, but they are quick to do the restructures, and I think they might try to do a deal with Zack Martin that within a couple of years they try to restructure it to free up more money because they're going to have money. We're going to supposedly have a boatload of close to $70 million next year available because of the smart moves we made. So that may be able to help us later on down the line.
Thanks for jumping in with us on Facebook Live. Jess Couch, Alfonso Sloan, you guys just tuning in. Appreciate that. If you missed anything, you can rewatch it right here or listen on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Play. Mm-hmm. Jess Couch says, and we're kind of bouncing all around here.
That's all right. We're freestyling.
Jess Couch says, I'd rather have Switzer over Austin.
I don't know because let me first tell you, I loved Ryan Switzer. I do think he's going to be good, but I can't say I want Switzer over Austin. I think it's a good trade-off from my opinion. I think it's a good trade-off because Austin has done some things in the league. He has been explosive. You have seen it. You haven't seen it with Ryan Switzer. You think you can see it, but you haven't. So you're just kind of guessing if you're going to see it. At least you have actually seen it with Tavon. And I think if we use him right, he's going to have some big explosive plays. And I don't care what anybody says. If you listen to those guys, just like you said, G, and I didn't agree with you all the way, and now I'm going to go ahead and say I was wrong a little bit, how you were like it's something about the star. And when you hear a lot of these guys talking about that just came over to the team, they say it's just something about the star. It's just something about playing for the Dallas Cowboys. It's just something about it. So you tend to get those guys full effort because you're playing for the freaking Dallas Cowboys, dude. Jerry Jones. It still holds a lot of weight.
Oh, definitely. And like I said before, I mean, those facilities are just breathtaking, I'm sure, to
them
players. So,
they're second to none.
They're loving it. You know, it's probably like top-notch, like as far as a work environment goes. Cowboys Legacy on YouTube says, as a Cowboys fan, I've not been this excited about the defense in a long time, especially with Gregory back.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes.
As long as I can remember, really, have I been excited about the defense.
I haven't been this excited since the 90s. And that's a long time.
Saying a lot.
Now I seen the Doomsday defense in the 70s, which was super nasty. I seen all those guys. I seen Charlie Waters and Everson Walls and Michael Downs and Ed Too Jones and Harvey Martin and Randy White and D.D. Lewis and Hollywood Henderson. I seen all those guys. You know what I'm saying? And I flexed over to the 90s when I seen the Jones and Russell Maryland and Tony Casillas and Chad Henning and what was the other? Leon Lett, Big Cat Lett, Tony Tolbert, Charles Haley, you know, Ken Norton Jr., you know what I'm saying? The Shark, Kenny Gant, you know what I mean? Larry Brown, you know what I'm saying? Those guys, Kevin Smith, You know what I'm saying? Darren Woodson, Brock Marion. You feel me? When those defenses were thumping. Now I feel like we're trying to build a team like this right here where we can bring up those names of a Randy Gregory, you know what I'm saying, a DeMarcus Lawrence, a Sean Lee, a Jalen Smith. Now we want to start talking about those guys, you know what I'm saying, the X-Man, Xavier Woods, you know what I'm saying, Cheeto, you know what I'm saying. Now we're starting to get that swag, and I'm getting excited because it's the first time in a long time, because every year it's always we had Tony Romo, and he would bring us back, and that defense would always let us down in the end. And we go all the way down the field in like 10 plays, and in 3 plays they come right back and score, and you'd be like, really? And I think we got the defense to finally shut that up, and that's what I want to see.
Deffy Dorsey over here on YouTube says, amen, James. Let's go Cowboys. I appreciate everybody tuning in on Facebook as well. We had a couple of new people with some comments in here. Christopher Glover, Joe Lucia. Let me start with Christopher's comment. He says, do you think Jason Garrett's job is in jeopardy if they don't produce more wins?
No, his job is, if he gets to the playoffs, which I think he will, he probably still going to be the coach. I don't want that to happen. I think Chris Richard should be the coach in waiting. But I think if he gets to the playoffs again and has like a 10-6 or 11-5 record, they're not going to fire him. I don't see it. I don't see it. I just pray that we can get over the hump. I'm a just try to believe in you, Jason Garrett, even though I don't. I'm going to make myself believe in that we can just get over the hump. But I don't see him losing his job. If he doesn't get to the playoffs, yes, he's going to get fired.
Richard Villarreal says, will Taco live up to his first-round pick expectation this season?
I think he will. Everybody needs to look at, when you looked at all the top first-round draft picks, he was right there. Solomon Thomas, who was the number 3 pick for the San Francisco 49ers, had 3 sacks also. He was the number 3 pick in the draft. Charles Miller, I believe, only had 4 sacks, and Taco Charlton played half the snaps of these guys that had more sacks than him. And he was backing up DeMarcus Lawrence, who was a left end. Taco Charlton is more of a left end, not a right end. And so that's where he was really explosive, and that's where he got all 3 of his sacks. So you're really not going to get a lot of plays when you're playing behind DeMarcus Lawrence, and he's getting 14.5 sacks. That means in the critical parts of the game, who's going to be in there? Is it going to be DeMarcus Lawrence, or is it going to be Taco Charlton? You get what I'm saying? You got a rookie or a 4-year player, and you're trying to get after the quarterback. You're not putting in Taco Charlton. You get what I'm saying? You're going to put him in stints. But I believe he's going to get better because I've been believing him since day one because I was wanted him to get picked. And I'm repping his jersey. So with that being said, if you see him, they said he's gotten a lot bigger. You've seen he's gotten bigger. They say he's got stronger, more confident. DeMarcus Ware was in the building at the OTAs working with these young guys and helping these young guys out, which was huge. And one of the things he was saying was he thinks Taco Charlton may got it now. He says he looks a lot more confident. He looks faster, stronger mentally. And he says when he believes it now. And he said when a player believes it, that's the key.
Kevin Johnson says Chris Richard is going to be the coach in the future. You believe that, don't you?
Yeah, he's going to be our coach. I've been said that.
All right, let's go ahead and then get back into some of these topics that we had ready for the show because earlier we were talking about Jihad Ward and how he was kind of standing out in OTA so far. Mm-hmm. And we talked about Ryan Switzer too. So do you think the Cowboys would have any regret with this trade? And I also see some Ryan Switzer comments in here, if I can read one real quick. Kevin Johnson, again, says Switz is not ready. He hesitated to run the ball out, cost us the Rams game. It was a good trade getting Ward.
I'm down with the Ward thing. I watched his tape. Remember, people got to remember, he came out of Illinois. He was a second-round pick. He wasn't a 4th round, 5th round, 7th round, undrafted. He was second round. So it wasn't like he was a bum when the Raiders got him. He had 32 tackles his first year. He had injury problems last year. 6'5", 300, very aggressive. You need to watch his tape when he played at Illinois. He was a very aggressive player. He can shoot that gap really good and playing that 3-tech. And as I said before, it's different when a guy wants to actually come and play for an organization. They were looking at him when he was coming out of Illinois. Marinelli loved him. The Raiders got him. So when you get a guy you really love, just like if you were coaching, you had a guy that was playing for another team, then he comes over to your team, G. It's just like if I was coaching youth football. I had a kid over there, and I wanted him. You know what I mean? He went play for the Columbus Ice. I'm coaching the Columbus Rams. He goes to Columbus Ice, right? 2 years later, he happens to come over, and he says, hey, Coach J. I'm like, what? He's like, I'm playing for you. You know how I'm feeling? You know how I'm feeling, G? I'm about to do cartwheels. I give him a big hug, and I'm like, let's get to work. You get what I'm saying? And don't you think if he comes over and says, I'm coming to play for you, he's going to give me his full effort? Right? So that's why I think the Ward is going to be a big thing for us, because I believe he said in his Instagram, he said, I ain't talking about the Raiders no more. I'm with the Cowboys. This is where I wanted to be. This is what I'm going to do. And y'all going to watch him work. And when Brian Broder says, who's the guys that stand out, that was one of the first guys he mentioned. I think he's going to do a lot of damage, and he's going to be great in that rotation.
Well, I hope you're right, because when I think about a guy like Ryan Switzer, I think about it losing a guy like a Danny Amendola. You remember that?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to make that mistake again where we got this nice receiver that's going to go somewhere and be really productive that we could have had. We had him on the team,
right,
and we let him go. So I just hope it's not another one of them situations.
We shall see. What's up, DDP?
Ron Smith said we have a new member. His name's Tony Bullock. What's going on, Tony? How about them Cowboys?
What up, Tony Bullock?
And that's for all the new members.
That's for all the new members. Anybody who's listening, how about them Cowboys, y'all? Because we're going to have a fun season. We're going to have a fun season, y'all. We're going to have a fun ride. Make sure you tune in to that Silver and Blue Nation, because, hey, we had a good time when we did them games, the pregame, the halftime shows, the postgame. Man, y'all got to jump on it, because it's going to get even better. Listen to me when I'm trying to tell you. This stuff ain't going to be the same.
Fun season.
This is going to be a fun season. Stay over here on this damn Silver and Blue, man. Don't play around over here.
Real quick, because we already talked about it, Joe Lucia must have tuned in a little late. Earl Thomas, anything with that?
I mean, as I said before, hey, if we get him, we get him. If we don't, I'm okay. I feel like we got what we have.
You think they have a chance to get him?
Yeah, we always have a chance to get him, but I don't think it is, because, like I said, it has to be good for Dallas. And you know how Stephen Jones and them guys, it has to be good for Dallas. And if it's looking benefit more for Seattle, they're not going to do it. They're not going to try to benefit Seattle. They play in the damn NFCs. Why would we benefit them? It's got to be good for Dallas. And if it's not a good deal for us, they're going to say, hey, we like Kayvon Frazier. We drafted Xavier Woods for a reason. That's why we got these players. Let's let them play. That's why we haven't got Vicario and those guys, because we believe in what we have. And that's what they keep saying. So we're going to have to start believing it.
The Real Bishop Kane over on YouTube says, what's up, Big Game James?
Let me answer Dustin's question, because he going ham.
Yeah, we got a lot to get to, so let's try to keep them quick, because there's a bunch of questions.
Okay, Dustin, why? I don't know why. Chaz Green is on the first team,
what
bro.
What did he ask?
He's asking why is Chaz Green, and we don't have Byron Bell. Byron Bell's not on our team any longer. Byron Bell's gone. Chaz Green is still on the team because they drafted him. They don't think he's that terrible. They think he had a few bad games, and Zack Martin's out, and who's the starting right guard? Chaz Green.
You said it. You want him to. They want him to succeed.
They want him to succeed. They're going to do everything for him to succeed, and they don't think he's a bad player. And if they don't, it's okay.
Young C-Note says, "What's up, Big Game James on YouTube?"
What up? What up? What up?
Dominique Bradshaw, real quick. What about Kenny Vaccaro?
No.
Nope.
We haven't touched him yet. You think they're going to sign him now? Listen, folks.
I guess if somebody gets hurt in camp or something.
Somebody's going to have to blow out their leg and knee. We're going to have a major injury for us to sign Vaccaro. Let's keep it real. Remember last year, G, when everybody was talking about Darrelle Revis?
Yep.
And everybody was like, sign Darrelle Revis. Sign Darrelle Revis. Did we sign him?
Nope.
Did we sign on the other players that was all floating around? Richard Sherman and them? Did we trade for them? No.
Anybody with a household name? Nope.
No. So let's just let it go. We're rolling with our guys.
Jawan James and Ryan Dye both talking about DeMarcus Ware, about his presence. Ryan Dye says, is he a coach now, or is he just helping out?
He's just helping out. He's not official coach on the team. He's actually been helping the Denver Broncos as well. He hasn't just been helping the Cowboys. He's just basically lending a helping hand and giving us his experience and, teaching these guys how to be professionals. And how can you not love that?
Geno Maston says, do you think Hearns can be the number one receiver?
Yeah, he can. We're hoping that it's going to be him and Gallup being the number one guys, and that's what we brought Hearns over there for. We'll see, but I think they're really looking for Gallup because Hearns was never a number one dude. He's been more of a secondary guy. I think they really want Gallup to take over that mantle, and we'll see what happens if he can hold it. So preseason games are going to be huge because those rookies are going to play a lot.
Joe Lucia repping from Orange, Texas. Appreciate you tuning in. I know you've been watching for a while, but still want to thank you and anybody else who's watching. Let us know where you're watching from as well. Again, if you just tuned in, it's the Silver and Blue Nation Live Dallas Cowboys Talk Podcast. It's a fan interactive show for all you guys out there so we can give you the shout-outs, get your comments in. And if we missed your questions, keep them coming.
They're rolling.
We'll keep trying to give you shout-outs because they are coming in hot right now.
Hot like cakes.
Let's jump right back into it then with Joe Lucia says, who do you think the first ones to get cut, judging on what you've seen so far? I guess, the first wave of cuts or
Charles Tapper. He's my first guy that I feel like that's going to be a name guy that's going to be cut. They've been keep on bringing Jamil Showers around. He actually might play for us. Who else do I think will get cut? They're not going. I don't think they're cutting Chaz Green. Joe Looney may catch it, but I don't know. They're going to keep Cam. No, you know what? That Martin kid. They haven't been talking about him. That Martin kid. They brought him in on a 1-year deal. He may not make the team. I told you Terrence Williams. I still think he might be a surprise, even though Dave Hellman and them guys are saying no. I think he still could. On the defensive side, like I said, Charles Tapper. On the linebacking core, Damian Wilson, but he's been starting.
Ooh, that'd be a surprise.
That'd be a surprise, but you never know because they've been liking that.
You don't think Joe Thomas will get cut first?
Yeah, let me go with Joe Thomas because Damian Lillard's been starting with the first team. And the guy who's been surprising was that March Lillard guy that we got from Kansas City. Brian Bross says when they let him play, he's everywhere. He got good size too, and he's young.
Richard Villarreal says, how much of an upgrade will Connor Williams be for this offensive line?
Huge. They said he's still learning I think the reason why it's going to be huge because, number one, they've been penciled him in from day one. Day one, he's been there getting it, learning it, eating it, soaking it
Basically just like the other guys.
Just like when Travis Frederick, Zack Martin, Tyron Smith came in, they hit the ground running. They're going to do the same thing with Connor Williams. I think that's why it's going to be huge. I think he might get – Connor Williams, I feel like, will have trouble. Like when we play the Giants – I think he'll have trouble with snacks. He's not that girth guy. And I think he may have – but he's good with his technique. But I think he may have problems with those. If he gets a really big tackle like a 330 type guy, I think he'll struggle. But technique-wise, he's going to be a good addition on the team.
Diego Mastis says tuning in from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Ooh, Alamogordo. I was born there, Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Says he never wants to see Chaz Green on the field again. Cam Fleming is an upgrade from that guy.
Yeah, but Cam Fleming is going to play the swing tackles. I know Cam Fleming has played guard, but they're already putting him at a left tackle when Tyron Smith is sat out. And I know they're probably going to sub him in for La'el Collins because he played right tackle as well. So we might as well just pencil Cam Fleming in as the swing tackle. And no matter whether you like it or not, Chaz Green's probably going to be that backup guy. So we probably just going to have to get used to it.
Let me get a real quick question in here from our YouTube channel, Silver and Blue Nation YouTube channel, whoever's watching there. Thanks for tuning in, and also go subscribe if you're not watching there. Let me see. Dominique Bradshaw says, and I know we touched on it, but for those of you who just tuned in, I think Cedric Wilson's going to be a dark horse. What do you think?
I say he's making the team. He's got the Boise State protection. He's got that Boise State bulletproof vest on. Because when you get drafted from Boise State, you got a bulletproof vest. You're almost damn near untouchable.
Scandrick, Lawrence, Crawford, bunch of guys.
And they untouchable. You feel me? Kellen Moore, even though we didn't draft him, he still came from Boise State.
And they were favoring him over
favoring him over Dak. He was our second string quarterback before he got hurt. So and he was going to be our backup before
it would have been Kellen Moore.
It would have been Kellen Moore. So they got that Boise State connection, and once they is like, and his I remember his dad playing. His dad was good when he played in the league as a receiver. So he's got good genes. He's a good 6'3". Good, almost 195 pounds. He can just get open. If you watch his Boise State tape, he's not a bad player. Had a lot of receptions, yards after catch. So I think he makes the team, and I think it's just going to be a hell of a battle. Watch out for that Lenore kid. You talked about him last year.
Lance Lenore.
Lenore. He's a big kid.
I like him.
He's like 6'3", almost 6'4". So it's going to be a hell of a battle.
Eric Doxson says, do we have any plans, a tailgating show at AT&T Stadium? I think we might try to do something like that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to try to do that, Eric.
So keep an eye out for that, and hopefully we can get everybody in there and have just a humongous blowout show or
Silver
something.
and Blue.
Maybe we can try to get down there for the first home game or something.
Hell yeah.
Because, we're starting off on the road at Carolina.
Yes.
So maybe we can get back in Dallas and have a show there for that.
We'll be at that game, y'all, just so you know.
Let's see here. Produced by Germ says they were born in Grants, New Mexico. So another New Mexico baby in the house.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm trying to monitor these comments, and I'm about to give you guys more comments to add to the comment section because I'm going to put this question up here, and you guys are going to let us know in the comment sections, would you do this or not? And I'm going to ask you, too. Should the Cowboys make a play for Gronkowski? We're talking about tight ends, who's going to start day one. This guy can change the dynamic of your team. Obviously, he would be your number one wide receiver, basically.
Yeah, I would put a play in for him as Rob Gronkowski. I know he gets hurt. I know he got broke up elbows, broke up knees, looked like a damn RoboCop when he played. Just looked like a big robot. But, yeah, it's Rob Gronkowski, man. If he was available, you at least have to check. You at least have to put a feeler like, what are you asking for? Yes, you do. You have to make at least a play for him and say, what are you asking? Now, if they're asking some astronomical type things like 2 firsts or something like that, hell no. But if they're in reason, yeah, that's Rob Gronkowski, dog. He's a monster. I don't care what anybody says.
A lot of people saying no.
I know they're not. I know a lot. I know they're not, but I don't care.
Young Cino says hearing good things about Blake Jarwin. I know you've said that. Produced by Germ says hell no. Dominic Bradshaw, hell no. Produced by Germ, I'm good with what we got. Julius Williams said nope. So, I still got to get to the ones on Facebook because we got so many, but let us know why would you do it? Is it the injuries?
Yeah, tell me why would y'all do it? Yes, it's all the people that was saying hell no, why wouldn't y'all go for him?
Yeah, I'm curious of the reasons why.
I need to know.
Richard Villarreal is in Seattle, Washington. Thank you for watching from there. I love Seattle. I'll go out there here and there, and that's a great place to be. So thanks for commenting and watching from there.
Yeah.
Just giving some shout-outs to people we maybe haven't mentioned yet. Samuel Ford watching. John Patrick, thanks for tuning in. Dustin Merriman wants to know, are we carrying 4 running backs? We got Jackson, Zeke, Bo, and Rod.
No.
And then the Oakland fullback we traded for.
No, I don't think we're carrying 4. I think we're carrying 3. One was either Scarborough or Jackson's getting cut.
I don't think it's going to be Scarborough.
I don't think it is either.
I got a big feeling about Scarborough.
Yeah,
Samuel Ford actually says, do you think Scarborough will have some impact this season?
Red zone would definitely like to see him in that red zone. I think he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna have a huge because we're gonna have Zeke, and then I think Rod Smith is really gonna show a lot of people what he's made of again this year. They in the Cowboys land, they're saying he could be a 16-game starter. That's what they're saying. So they already have high aspirations for Rod Smith, and this is his 3rd year, I think, with the Cowboys now. So he's kind of cemented himself with the Cowboys. So you're gonna see a lot of Rod Smith, but I definitely think you will see Scarborough. I don't know if he's gonna have a major impact this year, but he will have some games where you'll be like, damn, he needs to play more.
John Patrick wants to know, and we're kind of jumping all around. I got the graphic on the screen. Let us know. We still want to talk about this Gronkowski thing, so keep commenting on that. We'll try to get to those as well.
I think everybody's going to say damage
along
goods.
Here. Well, there's some people saying Super Bowl champ, so, hey, we need to get us a Super Bowl champion. I mean, with somebody with some pedigree. That's why I like Earl Thomas so much. So I can agree with that part. That's a good way to look at it, too. John Patrick says, how's Mike White looking, and is he going to be giving Cooper Rush a run for his money?
I was jumped out there and said he's going to give him a run for his money, but I think Cooper Rush might have. I think he's solidified that number 2. I think the Cowboys really feel good about Cooper Rush. You've seen his tape last year. I don't know how you look worse the next year. He's a smart kid. He's just a smart guy. So I think you're probably going to see Mike White get stashed on the practice squad. Cooper Rush will probably be our number 2 again, but Mike White.
Not if he shows out in the preseason.
Not if he shows out. He
ain't going to be able to make the practice squad.
Well, they're both going to have their opportunities, so we'll see. But I think White will probably go to the practice squad, but he's a very intriguing prospect because he's 6'5", 230, and we're going to see.
I think Cooper Rush builds off what he did last year and continues to look impressive and could end up being some real serious trade bait for us at some point down the line. Khalil Fortes says, do you guys think Zeke can hit the 2,000-yard mark?
I think he can, but he won't. Not this year. 1,600 yards is good for Zeke. We don't need to overuse Zeke. We don't need to kill him. You know what I'm saying? We need to keep.
He gets a second contract?
Yeah, I think he gets a second contract. I think he does.
You don't think they might just try to use him up for his first 5 years and then just let him go?
No, because if you look how they used him the first couple years, they haven't killed him.
Look what they did with Murray, though. They didn't want to pay him.
Right, but I think Zeke and Murray's are 2 different backs.
Oh, I loved Murray, man.
But he ain't better than Zeke. He ain't better than Zeke, though.
I could still make some comparisons there.
Come on, man.
I don't know. That's a good one, too. Let us know in the comments.
You were saying Zeke was better than – was going to be good as Adrian Peterson, dog.
Yeah, coming out of college. And
what has he done?
Murray was as good as Peterson. Murray was the best running back in the league for a little stretch.
Nah, he wasn't that sweet. Yeah, he was sweet, but he wasn't Adrian Peterson
He's
sweet.
got the Cowboys' all-time record for yards in a season.
That's true, but he's still –
back to the Gronk real quick, and let us know on that what we're talking about too. Who you think's better, Zeke or DeMarco Murray? If you just size them up
in their heyday.
Yes, in their best times. Who was better?
So
Murray or
that
Zeke?
2016
We ain't
Zeke.
seen the best out of Zeke yet, though. I don't.
Right, exactly.
I think Zeke might end up being better. He might be the more durable player, but
And he's got better speed.
Murray was very skilled. He was all around back.
But Zeke is not.
He is.
Zeke can block his ass off.
It's a good comparison, I think.
It's a good, and then I think the biggest thing with me and Zeke is different from Murray, and where he's better, he's more elusive. You don't say? You don't think Murray was more of a straight line runner? He wasn't really elusive. He was a one cut.
Murray had that great vision.
He had great vision, but he was more of a straight line runner. He didn't have a lot of jukes.
Blockers, man.
Zeke can juke you.
Murray did a lot of sideline to sideline running, where he was cut one way and come back the other. You know what I mean? Like,
but he wasn't a
sweep plays.
When he played with the Eagles, that wasn't his game. They were trying to run him on sweeps.
Seen they did something different with him. But when they went back to a traditional offense, he ended up being all right when he got to Tennessee. You know, they was pounding him.
Yeah, it was
like a regular offense. He was doing 1,300 yards.
I still think Zeke got better wiggle.
You might be right, but I like that debate, though. Christopher Glover, we're going back to Gronk. Christopher Glover says he thinks we should trade for him. Ron Smith, no. Eric Doxson, yes. Stacey Nix, no. Marvin Hargrove, yes. Dustin Merriman says no because of the money. And then let me see, someone over here.
Everybody loving Zeke pick, though.
Commented about the Gronk. Dominic Bradshaw says he's too much of a distraction. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but we don't need that much of a headache on our team. That's another way because, he does like the party and all that. So that wouldn't be something that you even want to deal with, I guess. Julius Williams says, what's the word on Dorrance Armstrong real quick if you got that one?
Dorrance Armstrong, I mean, like I said, everybody looks good in shorts. They're saying that they have a high ceiling, but we need to see him in pads. He's still a rookie. They said he went a couple times against La'el Collins, and La'el Collins just straight manhandled him. And good marks about La'el Collins. Brian Broader said this was the thing that he said, that last year we were all wondering why did they move La'el Collins to tackle. He said this year they're asking the question of why didn't they move him there sooner. So he's being dominant.
Diego says, we're just kind of all over the place. Diego says, why are we always picking Boise State guys? Is it a Jason Garrett or Linehan thing?
Yes.
Which one?
Jason Garrett.
That's a Garrett thing?
That's a Garrett thing. He loves them Boise State guys. Kevin
Johnson, Gronk damaged goods. Hell no. Marvin says it's worth a shot. Christopher says I'd like Gronk when he's healthy. John Patrick says, what about Gary Barnage, former Browns tight end?
Nah.
Nope. Joe Lucius says Gronk's too injury prone.
I think it's the injury thing with him.
So, and Marvin Hargrove is watching in Spring Lake, North Carolina, representing the Cowboys from there. We appreciate that.
Rep. But everybody likes Zeke.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Not one person has said Murray. Not one person has said Murray. Richard Villarreal says, who will start at middle linebacker, Vander Esch or Jalen Smith?
Jeez. It might be Jalen Smith just because of the experience. Unless Vander Esch comes in the rookie like preseason and just dominates. I think when we were seeing, I think they were talking about having Jalen Smith back in the middle, Damian Wilson start on the strong side, and Sean Lee on the weak side, and then bring Vander Esch off the bench and just slowly bring him in. Don't put him in that pressure. So I think they're really going to try to do it like that. So I think you're going to see Jalen Smith start it out, and they'll bring Vander Esch in slowly.
Ishmael Moran says Adrian Peterson still available. Any interest there?
Nope.
What do you guys think in the comments? Would you like to take a shot at Peterson? Do we need to add another running back? I think
don't need no damn Adrian.
I think
Peterson.
we don't need any other running backs.
We don't need him.
Yeah, not one person
has
agreed with me on Murray.
Told you, dog. Zeke.
I guess it was just in my head. I don't know. I thought he came in and we had no running game before him, and all of a sudden he comes in. Now he have 1,000-yard back
not saying,
instantly.
I'm saying he was beastie.
I don't know.
He was beastie. He's just not beastie as Zeke Elliott. That's all.
Well, no, because I feel like Zeke came into a better situation. He's a first-round pick, so he's instantly given the throne. Murray was injury-prone. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things, but all right, I'm wrong.
It's okay, G.
I'm wrong.
It's all right.
I'm looking at, if we were taking a vote here, it'd be like 99% Zeke.
1%.
1% Murray, and I'm the 1%.
That's the 1%. You can always come back over to here. You can come on our side.
Kevin Johnson says hell no with the Adrian Peterson. Ryan Dye says nope, we don't need him. Stacey Nix, no AP.
Yeah, don't nobody want him. That ship done sailed too. Once you old and done, you old and done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he was the man back in the day, and when he was saying, I'm playing till 40. I mean, I don't know why they jump in the media and say that. A running back's not playing till he's 40. You feel me? You're not.
Diego says we should have picked up Sammy Watkins.
Nope.
Not for the kind of money they were talking about
Hell
with him.
no. We ain't paying him that money so he can blow out his
He's
hamstring the
always
first
hurt.
week.
Yeah.
That's just nothing but potential with him.
Don't
want to hear that no
let's
more.
go ahead and jump into another topic that, well, not really a topic, but basically just give us an update on what's been going on with David Irving
All right.
and his crazy circus off season so far. Distraction after distraction.
I mean, and see, he jumps in on his Instagram and is like, the media needs to tell the truth, and I get it. I know the media pumps stuff up. The media does lie. They do it. We in media. I don't lie, though. But they be lying. I can't say they don't. They sensationalize stories to make you read things. They do what they call the clickbait. That's what you be saying, G? They go do that clickbait stuff. So that stuff is real. But I'm just going by the track record, David Irving. I'm not trying to even hate on you. I'm just going by your track record. Your track record from day one has been inconsistency. You feel me, G? That's what you've been from day one. So why should we not believe the outside people now? Because you're still proving it right.
Let's go back for a second. How did the Cowboys acquire him anyway?
They got him when he was on the Kansas City Chiefs. They just signed him off. He was on a practice squad, and we snatched him.
So it wasn't a trade?
No, it wasn't a trade or nothing. We just snatched him off the practice squad.
And
I think we may give a look.
But why? I'm just wondering because, obviously he was kind of good like right away.
Well, he got kicked off the team.
Yeah.
His senior year.
What happened with that a little bit, like as far as with Kansas City? They just didn't see the talent, or what do you think?
I think that it was a situation where
I'm wondering how
he wasn't
deep-rooted
really
this
getting
is.
that time he came over. And he just had the red flags around him. But the thing they were saying with him at Kansas City was he was kind of lazy. So the Cowboys just took the flyer on him, acquired him, and then he's came over and he's been doing the same thing. I mean, been inconsistent. They said the reason why hasn't got on the field is because of him. Hasn't been because of anybody else. It's because he hasn't been consistent. And so when they it seems like when they try to put more on him, he kind of backs off. I know he had the concussion, 5 games. I've seen a lot of people come back earlier, but okay. Then you have the situation where you have the baby's mom, and I know how that can stress you out because I've been through those type of situations, but I wasn't a pro athlete as well. I'm trying to get more money. This is my job, and a lot of people are depending on me. Kind of got to do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other people that's been in the NFL that's had them same problems. Why is David Irving different, G? You don't think there's nobody in the NFL or any professional sports that have problems with their baby's mom and custody and life? So why are you different, David Irving? Why are we? And a lot of people have to talk about why are you different? You're no different than me.
Well, that's
you
what
did
separates
6'7" and
great
300
players from average
right.
players.
That's why we're not saying you're great, because great players overcome this and override this, and you don't know about those problems. Those great players play through them, and then you hear about it later on like, damn, they was going through that. But they rise above it because they know there's a purpose that they need to function and do it, and they're being paid money to be that professional. And he's just not being that leader that we want. So that's why everybody's frustrated, and I'm tired of everybody taking up for him.
He's got like a Julius Peppers type potential, but doesn't have it upstairs.
I mean, he's fluky. I told you, he's goofy.
I'm going to jump into a comment from J.D. Kersey. Thanks for tuning in with us. He says he thinks Hearns, Gallup, Beasley, and Brown are going to make it at wide receiver, then a free-for-all with the 2 spots between Lance Lenore and Deontay Thompson. Cannon will probably practice squad. T will get cut. I didn't hear Cedric Wilson mentioned in there.
Cedric Wilson making the team, man.
So let's go ahead and ask you then, which wide receivers will likely be cut before the season starts?
I think Katie Cannon's going to get cut. I also think I think Lenore's going to get cut. He's going to be close.
You don't think we'll see a surprise from one of these, maybe Terrence Williams or?
I was saying Deontay Thompson, but I keep on hearing Sanjay Lal liking this kid.
Hey, I mean, he's in there. Obviously, has a good relationship. You shared that video where he's over there doing basketball moves on Sean Lee.
Yeah, so they like him. But I think Lenore and Katie and Cannon are, going to be tough ones. Maybe Deontay Thompson, depending on who they keep. But I just feel like Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown.
And we're not considering Austin a wide receiver.
No, we're not considering him. But I think Gallup, Beasley, who else? Gallup, Beasley, Hearns, Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, and one more. I think 6 is going to make it. So I think the fight is going to be on that 6th spot between Lenore and Deontay Thompson. I don't think Katie Cannon is going to be in the mix unless he has a phenomenal preseason.
It sounds like a deep wide receiver core.
Yeah, it
and
is.
Terrence Williams probably going to get suspended.
Right, and that's what
so
I think
there'll
he's
be
going
an extra spot for a couple weeks.
Right, and they like him in the building, and maybe because he's never really done anything to get in trouble to get cut. So I'm probably wrong. They know I'm not in the building. Dave Hellman is near there. If I was near that action, I would freaking know, and I could really tell y'all. And that's why I'm pissed that I'm not there, so I can actually tell y'all the real. So I don't like going by what somebody else tells me. I want to freaking figure it out myself. So I'm going to get close to that action, folks. We are, because I want to tell y'all the real. I want to get there and talk to these players, holler at these guys, bring that stuff to y'all so y'all can see the real eyes, the real truth, and what's really going on. No sugarcoating that crap.
Kevin Johnson said this is David Irving last year in Dallas, and his replacement will be Taco.
David Irving's going to be on the team this year.
You're talking about, I think this will be his last year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're going to see. If he still has that goofy stuff going on, yeah, I don't see them bringing him back. I think they're really going to see if he shapes up this year. But even then, it's going to be hard to trust him. He's the type of guy that he might, there's guys that, just like we were talking about with DeMarcus Lawrence. Oh, he got really good his last year because it was a contract year and now he's going to fall off. I don't think that's going to happen with DeMarcus Lawrence. I think he's going to stay motivated. Whereas with David Irving, he just looks like he don't care sometimes. Man. So it just looks like if he gets the money, it's easy for him to be like, I ain't doing this. It just seems like he looks like that. Like, I don't care.
I'm hoping DeMarcus Lawrence isn't a one-year wonder.
I don't think he is.
Dominic Bradshaw says, what are your thoughts about Navarro Bowman, or is that too late?
Yeah, that's done. No, that's not happening.
We talked about that before.
Yeah,
if you want to hear about that, go check a couple of shows ago, maybe.
Oh, and a lot of people, and I did say, and I'm gonna stay with this. I say Rico Gathers could be a surprise cut.
Actually, I'm glad you asked about Rico because we had a question about him, but also to the comment about Bowman. If you actually go back on our YouTube page that you're watching on, Dominique, you will find a clip where he specifically talks about if the Cowboys should or shouldn't trade for Navarro Bowman. So that's another great thing too we do with the show. We can cut out these little segments. Mm-hmm. If you missed it, you can just go back and watch specific topics if you want to know a hot take on one of those burning questions that everybody has. Marvin Hargrove Sr. on Facebook Live says, what's the deal with Rico Gathers? Because you just mentioned him. What's holding him back from playing on the field during the season?
He's never played football. That's the biggest thing.
You said he could be a surprise cut.
And he could be a surprise cut because they're talking about, the practice habits and the thing. They still got to teach them the same thing over and over. And then I wanted to bring up a thing I saw about Nick. Nick Eatman was talking about him maybe about 3 weeks ago. I happened to see it on the Cowboys site. And he was saying that when Rico Gathers, remember you were talking about this yourself, G, that when he catches the ball, he still catches it like a basketball player. Like he goes up for a rebound and he like gets the ball and lands like he's getting a rebound and turning.
And for me, he just can't take a hit the right
Well,
way.
that's what I'm saying, because he's still playing basketball, and that's what Nick Eatman is saying, that when they see him catch the ball, he's still playing like a basketball player, and that's going to get him hurt again because he's not moving where he can take that right hit, and he's going to get hit wrong and be knocked out again. You know what I'm saying? So I just see a lot of the people saying the same thing about Rico. Super great size, great intrigue, great ability as far as what can happen, but they keep on saying he's got a long way to go.
Everybody's saying in the comments that they think Terrence Williams needs to be the one to be cut. Young C-Note says, who do you think will have the better preseason for the backup quarterback, Rush or White? We kind of talked about that a few minutes ago. Yes, we both agree. Cooper Rush, I think he'll pick up right where he left off. Mm-hmm. That's on our YouTube channel, so if you're wherever you're watching, you can subscribe to us there. And if you're watching on Facebook, you're either watching on Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James, Dallas Prospect, Lawn Nation, or Phantom Sports, or ABSN Online, whichever one you're tuned into. Jump in Silver and Blue Nation before we wrap this thing up real quick, and we can get you some shout-outs and comments in.
Thanks for everybody tuning in today. Let me give a lot of shout-outs.
We've given a lot of shout-outs today and take a lot of questions today.
A lot of shout-outs.
Let me try to get a few more. We'll keep them a little quick because there's so many. We just got to get through them fast.
Appreciate y'all.
Diego says, do you think Cameron Kelly will make the team?
Yes.
And what does Cameron Kelly do?
Safety cornerback.
And that's an undrafted.
Great size, 6'3", over 200 pounds, long, wiry, real good attitude. I've seen him in his tape. Really good attitude. Cam, they actually had a 5th round grade on him, I believe, and they were ecstatic that he got undrafted because they went right after him. So they have high hopes for him. He said himself that they're trying to envision him as the Richard Sherman Part 2, kind of cocky with it, but hey, that's all good. But I really think he makes that team, and I don't know where they put him, but like I said, competition is going to be fierce because remember, we still got Marquez White that we got from Florida State last year who was on the practice squad. We still got Duke Thomas that was on the team who was going to make the team last year until the injury hurt him. Mm-hmm. He's a good 6'1" from Texas. So there's a lot of guys out there, the Robinson kid. There's a lot of guys out there that we had the guy Jihad Ward, I believe. He was like from Middle Tennessee. We got the other kid, the Olumba from Portland State. He's 6'2". We're getting and don't forget, I posted as well that supplemental draft. Remember I was telling you about that Adonis Alexander. I've been posting a lot of him. He could be a surprise. You never know. He's a 6'3" guy. He was going to be a who's who next year as a senior, but his grades were bad. I think another kid from Western Michigan, his grades were bad, and that's why they entered the supplemental draft. But he's every bit of 6'3", 210 pounds, and he could be doing something.
Santa Claus just did crack says, have y'all talked about Earl Thomas yet? Yes. Yeah. Basically just saying, these YouTube names are killing me, man. Basically just saying, they will or they won't. I mean, the trade's on the table.
I love
Can they get it done or can't they? I don't know.
Man, y'all.
Only time will tell. And then Philip Nicholson
How do you concentrate after that
says,
one?
Big Game James need his ass beat if we don't make playoffs. Damn.
Really?
Damn, they go crazy in the YouTube.
Oh, man, y'all going hard on me,
Harold
man.
Martin said LMAO.
No, we're not going to miss the playoffs. And no, I ain't get my ass beat for nothing. You can remember that one.
Back over in Facebook Live, Khalil says, if D-Law balls out this year, does Dallas pay him at the end or basically next offseason?
They should. I mean, if he does another 15-sack season, hell yeah, they should pay him the money. We got money next year, right?
Yeah, there should be like $70 million.
We're supposed to sign our own, right? That's what the whole theory was, to draft our own, sign our own, keep our own. That's the theory.
They've been having cap hell for like years now, and it's supposed to finally start paying off all this.
What up, Bam?
Being patient with it and everything. Bam.
Big Bam's in here.
I ain't seen Bam in a while.
I ain't seen Bam in a while. What's up, Big Bam?
Thank you, Bam. Mm-hmm. Terry Turner, how many interceptions do you see this year?
From the whole
I'm guessing for as a team.
For the core?
Or let's just say what might be a team high? Like who could be one player that has the most picks and how many you think they might get? Like who you think will lead the team in picks? Let's say that.
Xavier Woods.
Oh.
Because I always want to say Jordan Lewis, but my man ain't even getting the time on the first team right now. I'm pissed about that, but I guess he knows better than me. But if you go look at the numbers, it says Jordan Lewis, and you look at the tape, Jordan Lewis is outside corner. If you look at the Pro Football Focus and all the numbers, Byron Jones is a better slot corner than an outside corner.
I like Cheeto this year.
I like Cheeto, but I just don't think he's going to get a lot of interceptions.
I do. I'm feeling like 5 or 6 and a couple touchdowns, a couple pick sixes, because he's aggressive and he likes to jump the ball.
He is aggressive,
I got a feeling we're going to see some pick sixes from him.
But he did drop a few. That's what I'm looking at. He
did drop some, but I have a feeling he might not drop them this year.
We'll see. He's the guy that everybody said he's the next up-and-coming riser.
Richard Valero says, could Schultz end up coming out being day one starter at tight end?
No, but he's going to get hella work.
What round was he? 3rd or 4th?
Fifth.
Maybe later?
4th. 4th.
All right, let's see if we got any final comments.
Blake Jarwin's going to be our starter.
He says, Great Jarwin. Blake Jarwin. Great Jarwin. Great Jarwin.
Great Jarwin.
Ryan Dye said, great show. Thanks, Ryan. We appreciate you.
From the day one.
Kevin Johnson says, thanks, fellas. It's been real. Cam Kelly's going to move to corner.
We'll see.
Ron Smith, take care, guys. I got stuff to do. See you guys next time from Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City representing them Snowcaps.
The country.
All over the world. We had UK in here today. We have them all over the world. We got them all. We worldwide, yo. We got them all over the world.
Marvin Hargrove, thanks for sitting with us, commenting a bunch. We appreciate you,
Marvin.
James,
everybody, Juwan, everybody.
Bam Franklin, ain't seen him in a while.
Yeah, Bam, where you been, dog? But I'm glad you're in.
Let's see. Richard Woodard.
Katina.
Richard Woodard says, don't you have to give up a draft pick for the supplemental draft?
Yes, you do.
So it means like next season you be giving up a pick?
Yeah, but I mean, if you do like a 4th or something, that ain't going to kill us.
Yeah, like that one year with Josh Gordon, they were talking about doing like a 3rd.
Yeah, that ain't going to kill us to get a guy. If you get a guy like him, I mean, his tape is good, man. And 6'3", I mean, you can't have too many corners. You can never have too many corners or safeties.
Eric Doxson agrees with me on Cheeto leading the way for interceptions. Kevin Johnson says it's about to be a no-fly zone in Dallas. Hopefully we come up with some kind of cool little name or something like that, because it seemed to work for Seattle when they had that rolling.
Yeah, we'll find a name.
You said they're getting that swag back.
They got that swag. If you watch them,
eventually some kind of name's going to form.
Some name's going to form. They got swag.
Every year they have like the slogan they go by all season.
I mean, think about it. Look at the Cowboys, G. How long has it been since we were wondering why we didn't have them teams that had that swag when we got on the field? Like, remember back in the day when we just had that swag when we got on the field? Like, we just knew we was going to whoop your ass. And then now when we play games, we just kind of felt like, we're kind of scared because we're good. You're all going to come back. Now it's just like these guys cheat on them. They're walking around flexing. I like that. I like that attitude. I like that attitude that we're going to shut you down. You're not going to score on us. We're going to get the ball. We're going to score on you and a lot. We're going to beat your head in. That's the kind of mentality I want us to have. When we get on the field, we're going to dominate you offensively and defensively and kick your ass and walk home with the W. That's the only thing I care about, and that's the only thing I want to hear from them Cowboys this year is we're whooping asses teams.
Whooping asses teams.
Whooping asses teams. Whooping teams' ass.
Christopher Glover says, good show, guys. What's our record going to be?
10-6 here.
I'll give us 11-5. Vondell Jackson says that Vondell was on the wrong page. Sorry about that, Vondell. If you've been listening, I've been trying to tell everybody, come on over here.
Silver and Blue. Every Sunday, get on that Silver and Blue. If you're on Facebook, get on Silver and Blue.
See, it's like cool that Facebook did the new update where you can do it on all these pages, but at the same time, it's like we can't see all the comments at once. Right. You guys got to jump in. Vondell, I know you're here now, but you just came at the wrong time because we're just wrapping up the show.
If you really love us, Vondell, you know what to do. Get on that damn SoundCloud, iTunes, and
JD Kersey just wants to make sure it was known. And JD, I know because I saw you post it earlier after you said Cedric Wilson. Yes.
Yes, you did. You got it. You got it, JD.
There's your credit.
You got the credit, JD.
All right, well, then I guess that's it then. Until next time, make sure you guys subscribe on everything, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you subscribe for iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud so you can listen to us as well. And we're here every Sunday, so make sure you check back in.
Make sure to check that training camp. We're going to try to be on out there, so we're trying to get that good footage for you. We'll be out there in California.
I think we're less than 90 days now away from the season.
Yeah, so make sure you holler at us then because we're going to have that close-up as close as we can, folks, if we get there.
Until then, get them notifications ready, get them questions ready for next week.
All day.
And we'll see you next time on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Kiel wants a little glory hole before we get out of here, so we'll end the show off with some glory hole.
Good glory. We'll miss some glory hole.
And until next week, that's Big Game James.
And that's producer G Voltron.
And now the show's over.
Peace.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
To announce the Dallas Cowboys selection, please welcome the University of Tulsa wide receiver, Drew Pearson.
All right. How about them Cowboys? I want to thank the Eagle fans for allowing me to have a career in the NFL. Thank you. I am honored as an undrafted free agent to be selected to make the Cowboys' second-round draft pick